Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about this photo here. I'm gonna bring it up. So this was on Twitter. Let me pull it over here. So this was on Twitter the other day, and I just want to see what you guys think about this. Well, there's the model for White Tiger, in case you're curious and you hadn't seen it before. This was, I believe, posted on Thursday, I think, or Wednesday night or Thursday night. I don't remember now. And Daredevil and Elektra with here in the corner, if you can see that. Try and zoom in a bit here. It didn't really change anything. Daredevil and Elektra changes incoming. So, one thing to note is that they don't have any synergy on their page here. Normally, I thought when you're in the save squads thing, it like shows the number or whatever, how many synergies there are between the characters. So I'm wondering if this isn't so much a Defender's rework as it might be a just a plain city rework. Maybe that there might be some text in some of these characters that has specifically city stuff. And this is probably on the test server anyway, so maybe that explains why there's no synergy stuff listed here at the bottom or in the numbers or whatever. But what if this is also a rework specifically for Daredevil and Elektra being paired up together? I suppose you could put Elektra in now in place of Punisher. And I want to look at Elektra after we're done looking at this photo here. I don't really know if I'm too enthused about this in general. Like, I don't know if I care too much, but I am vaguely curious what their plans are for this. I don't really have any high red stars for any of these characters. To be honest, White Tiger doesn't super thrill me, just because I don't know if I care too much about Defenders, even if there is a slight Defenders rework. But if there's a wider city rework, I am curious about that. So I just wanted to see what you guys maybe thought about this. There doesn't seem to be a lot of excitement over this in the chat. But I just wanted to bring that photo up, and I wanted to then transition into looking at Elektra, wherever she is. Actually, I just wanted to bring up city. Let's filter by city here. And oh, okay, so I have like a 50k Elektra. That's funny. She's actually more than Miss Marvel. That's probably because I have the 5 red stars, but so I don't know if you've actually ever bothered to look at her kit because she's so garbage. But I always thought this was funny. So, not to mention that it hits really low. 170% damage is incredibly low, I think, for a basic attack still. If a target is a defender, apply 3 bleed and gain 1000% focus for this attack. What's interesting about this, even, you know, with this in mind, it's only a 70% chance to bleed. So that should be like 100% chance to bleed, and then it always lands on defenders. But, you know, this is a really weak attack anyways, and I never watched the Defenders Netflix show, you know, so I didn't really watch, you know, Elektra's involvement in those shows that came out, which are now defunct. But I guess this was the idea behind her. Her special is really pathetic. I mean, it does really weak damage. You gain stealth, woo, big deal nowadays. You know, and clear 1 to 2 positive effects. This is funny, and the fact that the T4 clears 2, because, you know, most characters, especially newer characters, can do this on their basic. So, yeah, really weak. Vital Strike actually wasn't too bad. So this 530% damage is actually pretty high for an ultimate. I'll give him that. You know, I'm pretty sure this is quite high percentage for an ultimate attack at level 6. That's the only real thing, but that's all it does, is just flat damage. I can show you tons of other characters that do this kind of damage, but, you know, have other things on the text. And then the passive, of course, on spawn a random hand ally. I mean, okay, 10% chance to revive, up to 15%. Nah, this is garbage. So I don't know what they plan to do with the character, but, you know, hey, you know, it might be something, and it might be worth taking a look at if you're one of these unfortunate people that have 5, 6, 7 red star Elektra. Maybe there might be something worth here to think about when we get the details of it, which, by the way, in case you guys missed it, the patch is slated for Tuesday, February the 2nd, which is in 3 days from now. So look forward to that. Unfortunately, I was really expecting us to get some info on it on the blog post on yesterday, and we didn't get any of that. So that's really disappointing, I think. And in terms of Daredevil, I don't know what they're planning on doing. You know, okay, he gives some speed to self and defender allies. Maybe they might extend this to city characters, to Elektra, but they're going to really need to massively overhaul Elektra to make her any usable at all. The baton, you know, maybe this will apply counter to Elektra as well instead of just defenders. I don't know what I don't think Daredevil is a bad character. They've already reworked the defenders, so I don't think Daredevil's kit's really that bad. It might be a bit outdated, sure. But there's plenty of other characters that need better reworks than Daredevil. I don't think that his kit is actually all that bad. And even here with the T-Force chain to 4 to 6 characters, that's a lot. I mean, I think that's more like a raid thing. His basic is pretty basic, but hey, you know, maybe if we boosted this chance to bonus attack to 100%, that might be nice for like a second attack. Something like that, and if the target is a villain, maybe do increased damage rather than chance to bonus attack. I don't know what they could really do with Daredevil either. I'm genuinely curious, you know, what they're planning on doing for this rework, supposedly for the new patch related to city characters. I'll tell you what I would like to see though, is I would like to see some reworks of some of the existing characters. So I would like to see Kingpin get reworked. I don't know if these are in the cards at all. I don't know if we're just looking at reworks for Daredevil and Elektra with the addition of White Tiger, whatever she's going to do. If she's going to be a Defenders or if she's just going to be a city character, a city hero with some additional stuff. I don't know. But I would love to see a rework to Kingpin, which is a bit sad. You know, he actually was really good at the very beginning of the game because of his boss's order buffs here. Defense up to all allies for 2 turns and offense up to all allies, or to 5 allies, but that's basically everyone. This was really, really good. This used to be really, really good, and still kind of isn't that bad either. But I would love to see a rework to specifically his summon. All it does is this. The bodyguards are very weak compared to summons that you see now. The bodyguards are pretty crap. The damage, their stats are low. Their hit points are low. They're worse than Ronin summons. You know, so they're not very good there. I would like to see a rework to this, either to change the bodyguards or allow them to summon mercenaries. This would be great if they could summon, instead of bodyguards, it'd be like Mercenary Riot Guard and Mercenary Lieutenant or Mercenary Sniper or something else. That would be really, really, really good. And I would love that. And his passive is okay, but I think this definitely needs a rework as well. I think that this needs to be bumped up, I think, for the assists here. 20% is not really all that high. I think Nick Fury actually can do that to everyone. Yeah, I don't know if a Kingpin needs the Merc tag necessarily, but I mean, I would like him to get... I would like them to do something with Kingpin, though. I don't know what. They could even give him the Spider-Verse tag. That could be too OP, I'm not sure, because of other Spider-Verse synergies with different characters. That might make him too good. I would have to look at the individual Spider-Verse synergies to see what that would actually contribute to Kingpin necessarily. Or if some of these passives may even extend to Spider-Verse characters if they reworked his passive a little bit. Kingpin definitely needs a bit of a bump. I actually really like Kingpin. I think there's something there. He has this Protector tag as well, which he doesn't really do. I get it that, you know, his summons, you know, have the special that gains taunt for 1 turn, but other than that, it's a load of garbage. There's nothing changed by the level, so why would you want this? And the damage on the basic is pretty crap, and their hit points suck, so they're not even really doing their job. And so I will give them that. There is a Mercenary Bodyguard, and interestingly, like you just pointed out, the Mercenary Bodyguards do have the Mercenary tag. That's interesting. So, you know, yeah, why not extend that to summon more mercenaries? That'd be pretty... Usually there's 2 different types of characters per summon. Mercenary Riot Guard and Mercenary Lieutenant would be great, although failing that, you know, Mercenary Sniper would be fine too as a damage option. You don't really need Mercenary Lieutenant, I guess, when you have the boss's order buffing. Not that big of a deal. But yeah, I would love to either see something mercenary tag to Kingpin. I don't know if he would necessarily need that. He's a crime lord, right? He's not a mercenary, or a Spider-Verse tag. One of the two, I think, would really go a long way to be able to making him useful. And this is one of the other characters in the city category that I really hope that they they look at. Obviously, there's the hand characters. I don't know if we're actually getting a hand rework or not, though. So I don't know if that's on the cards at all. So I'm not really going to be talking too much about hand. I think they're just looking at Elektra, because if I'm not mistaken, there was, like I said, that video with Valley Flying and Cerebro in the interview, and I'm pretty sure they mentioned that there isn't. However, since we're talking about city characters, Night Nurse. So this has been rumored for quite some time. Some of the other content creators have been talking about this. So I thought, hey, why don't I talk about Night Nurse a bit as well? So why do I have Night Nurse at 48k? Well, that's because she used to be really good and the only real healer for raids. Back when Ultima 6 was a thing, and she was the only character you could use outside of Shield Medic. And this was before Minerva. So basically when Minerva came out, and I think that was in 2019, I think 2019 Captain Marvel movie, right? That was I think that was 2019 springtime, and that's when Minerva came out. But other than that, she was actually pretty decent. And yeah, so if we're talking about the Doom raid for the skill lane, you know, there isn't very many great options. So if we look at her ultimate here, heals all allies for 2,500 health plus 10% of max health, and then apply 2 regenerations. So it's not terrible. I think what would need to happen, I think, is probably bump this up to 20%, and then maybe regeneration for 2 regen for 2 turns. I think would need to happen, something like that. We need to bump this up a little bit and make this a bit better. If she's a pure healer, then I think that would need to happen. What would need to happen on the special, I think we would need to see some sort of cleansing. We would need to see some sort of team cleansing. However that works, I don't care or know, you know, but she doesn't have any way of cleansing debuffs, and that's more and more of a thing now with heal block characters. Night Nurse came out well before a lot of these characters, like Venom, Mordo, who you often see in raids for, you know, these heal blocks and other problems. I think she would need to have that. It's actually on a low cooldown, which isn't bad either. So cooldown wise, actually her skills are pretty low. So I think if they added some sort of cleansing mechanic here, or maybe some buffs, she is a support character. So yeah, I know she's purely healing, or on the passive. If the passive had, or you know what, a revive. That would be really nice. Actually, scrap that. If the ultimate had some sort of revive mechanic, that would be really nice too. Now that I was thinking about that. But the passive could also have a cleanse on it as well, either on the special or the passive. Something needs to be changed up a bit. On turn, if the ally with the least health is less than 100% health, which is probably going to happen, 20%, that's a weird thing to say there, but okay. I think this is the only character that has text kind of described like that. And, you know, this needs to be bumped up. Whatever happens, more healing, 100% chance to heal, probably. 20% is not great. And then maybe put some cleansing on here if it doesn't happen on the special. So those are kind of things that I would look at. And actually, this isn't too bad. She actually applies... Now, if the T4 was like 100% chance to apply slow for 2 turns, that's actually not too bad for a basic move. You know, could be a little bit better. Maybe they could do something else. Maybe do an offense down would be actually really nice. Or 50% chance to apply offense down and keep the slow. That would be really nice. So yeah, to all you people out there with 5, 6, 7 red star Night Nurses, fingers crossed that maybe you guys might have your day, because I think Night Nurse might be getting some love around the corner. I think in general, we're probably looking at some city reworks beyond just what we saw in that photo of Daredevil and Elektra. And of course, White Tiger in the game. I would put my bet on Night Nurse, and I would also love to see a rework coming to Kingpin, but whether or not that actually happens or not, I don't know how likely that is. Other than that, I don't think we really need to touch on too many characters. I think OG Spider-Man, you know, I think at some point would need to see some love. I don't know what they plan to do with him, if they plan on maybe making a separate team for him, like a city hero, a Spider-Verse hero team. You know, OG Spider-Man Miles, rip Miles off the Young Avengers because that's crap, and you know, put them with some other sort of Spider, kind of like the Into the Spider-Verse movie, and characters like that, and bring them to the game and make a hero Spider-Verse team. I think that would be fine. Miles doesn't deserve to be on the Young Avengers, and frankly, Miss Marvel doesn't either. If they're going to do something, they should make a Champions team, which is another comic book team that they're currently on right now. I don't think that Young Avengers, I don't know what, and I've gone at length to talk about the Young Avengers, which will be a completely separate video now that WandaVision's out. But yeah, I really don't like the fact that they're Young Avengers. They really butchered that one for me. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's coming to the game possibly on Tuesday for city characters. We'll have to wait and see what the whole scoop is and how many characters end up getting touched. I don't think that the Defenders are going to get a broad rework. I don't know if they really need it. I think that if they're going to do anything, White Tiger could be that fifth member to replace or be an alternative to Punisher, and then maybe White Tiger has some extra passives in there that might sort of bring them up a little bit more. But broadly speaking, I don't think the Defenders need a rework as such. They had one already. They're decent, but you know, obviously could be better. And one character can be enough to really change a full team. You know, we've seen that with other teams where putting in one character like Emma Frost from Marauders can really make a huge difference in terms of how powerful they can really make one character and the synergy for that team. So just wanted to bring that out to you guys and see what you guys thought maybe of the potential city reworks as well. So yeah, we'll leave things there for that one, I guess.